Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to the preferential credit shock of the Bank for Social Policies, over the years, thousands of tons of poor and nearby households, policy beneficiaries and disadvantaged people in Ninh Dien commune, Chau Thanh districts have greatly improved and stabilized their life, thereby contributing fulfill the criteria in building a new style rural commune.
In order to have the livestock with today's scouts, Mr. Nguyen Quang Dao's family living in Ninh Dien commune, Chau Thanh district has borrowed money from the Bank for Social Policies. Previously, the income of Mr. Dao and his wife was very unstable because they work as hired laborers. Their house was temporarily built, but since borrowing money from the Bank for Social Policies, Mr. Dao has invested in raising cows. Since then, the herd has been reproduced and the number has increased. In the past, my family was in trouble, and thanks to the youth union, the Bank for Social Policies to lend 50 million Vietnam dong. I bought 4 cows. Then 2 years later, the cows gave birth. We sold the cows and brought other cows, and the cows have given birth to about 12 calves. Our capital includes loans from Policy Bank and the part of my family's capital, and thanks to the Social Policy Bank for supporting my family. Among the 19 criteria in the National Target Program on building new style rural areas, there is a group of criteria related to rural people's economy, such as criteria number 10 on income of the locals, criteria number 11 on poor households, criteria number 12 on the rate of employees with regular jobs. In recent years, the work for creating jobs for rural workers has been promoted by the Ninh Dien commune, Chau Thanh district, arranging for the households, especially the poor and near poor households, and households just getting out of poverty towards sustainable development and economic development in accordance with the condition of the family. The loan term is agreed by the Bank for Social Policies and the households on the basis of the production and business circle and the debt repayment ability of customers. Since then, many households have only borrowed capital and used it for the right purposes. They have found an effective economic development plan for a stable source of income. So thanks to the borrowed capital, there are conditions for early repayment and accumulation of business capital. And through this capital also, it is timely to create favorable conditions for households, especially poor and near poor households, to invest in farming, animal husbandry, production development, the living improvement, and sustainably escaping the poverty. This capital has made it easier for farmers to raise livestock and grow crops so that the farmers can do better. Without these loans, farmers must borrow money from the Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development with a much area of land use right. I have no mortgage of land. I only have 2 extra land I can stabilize when the season is right. But if the crop fails, I will not have the money to pay the bank. And with the capital of the Policy Bank, I pay gradually and pay savings so the time is more open. Ninh Dien commune regularly direct local association and mass organization to consolidate the activities of saving and loan groups, and at the same time propagate widely to borrowers to use loans for the right purposes, keep paying debt and paying interest to constantly improve the credit quality. And through propaganda work, which has continued to have a positive impact on changing the perception of poor households and the social community, the movement to take care of the poor continues to develop, mobilize the resources from the community. The social organization to realize the goal of joining hands for the poor and leaving no one behind. With loans and support from the Bank for Social Policies, thousands of households in Indian communities have increased their incomes and stabilized their lives, and thereby contributing to the localities to fulfill the criterion on income, the criterion on poverty reduction, as well as the number of workers with regular jobs and housing in the construction of new style rural area in 2019. And currently, the Ninh commune Chau Thanh district is continuing to maintain a criteria aiming to build an enhanced new rural commune, and the loans from the Social Policy Bank is still an important resource and capital to support the locals in the Ninh commune in improving the living standards for local people. The Bank for Social Policies has been implementing loans in the Ninh commune for a few years now. I find it useful for the people, and long-term loans, low interest rates with low interest rates for the people. And from this capital to invest in production, there would be more effective families. My family borrowed allowance to plant robotry, and now it's time to harvest, and thanks to this allowance, the family's income will increase. Ninh Dien is a border commune of Chau Thanh district. Previously, the people's lives has still faced many difficulties. The rural appearance has also been embellished and flourished. But since 2 years until now, when the Ninh Dien commune has built to meet the new rural standard commune, it has brought significant changes in the people's life from income, living standards to infrastructure. The people actively participate in responding to the national target program on building a new style rural areas by doing specific jobs such as contributing money, making contributions, donating land to build rural roads. Ninh Dien commune has 38 roads that have been operated with a total cost over 71 billion Vietnam dong, in which the people contributed nearly 500 million Vietnam dong. With the determination to build new style rural area, the beneficiaries are the people, so the change of a new rural commune must show a difference from infrastructure, rural appearance to income, the lives of the people, and up to now, nearly 1,100 households in Ninh Dien commune has been made to accept loans from policy banks with a total outstanding balance of over 38 billion Vietnam dong. And realizing the practical benefits, the party committee of Ninh Dien commune, as well as the local authorities, strive to maintain the criteria on new rural communes as a premise for building an enhanced new rural commune in the future. In general, the percentage of poor households decreased remarkably every year. From 2011 up to now, the poor household in Ninh Dien commune has decreased to 0.9% from the central poor households, and there are no more in the commune. Only poor and near poor households, according to the decision number 150 of the Provincial People's Committee. In the process of implementing the new style rural area construction, the party committee and authorities of Ninh Dien commune have mobilized financial resources from sources of nearly 195 billion Vietnam dong to invest in infrastructure construction and implement the standards new countryside, in which the people contributed over 22 billion Vietnam dong. The steering committee for new rural construction in Ninh Dien commune, Chau Thanh district, has developed a plan and implemented it for the members of the steering committee in charge of each criterion, each hamlet, and to try to maintain the criteria that has been recognized. However, maintaining the criteria is so difficult, such as the income criterion. The production of the people here due to the influence of prices, epidemic should also affect and disease. The second is the insurance criteria. It is also difficult to mobilize the people to participate in the social insurance. The steering committee for new rural construction in Ninh Dien commune has also assigned members to each hamlet to mobilize, and so this criterion is also maintained. Currently, Ninh Dien commune is setting out a roadmap to build a new advanced rural commune, mobilizing the people to decorate the gates, plant flowers and ornamental plants to both sides of the roads that have green, clean, beautiful environment, actively implement the movement of clean house, beautiful garden, fresh environment, civilized alley, improve the qualities of propaganda and communication work, organize emulation movements to build a new countryside from commune to hamlets, such as Ninh Dien joint force to build new rural areas, building a family of 5 nodes and 3 clans, organize the cultural and art performance activities to propagate the new rural construction to all classes of the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for the program. Thanks for watching and see you next time.